Welcome to the channel, where the legends of automotive history get the spotlight they truly deserve. Today, we're diving into a car that captured the hearts of gearheads around the world and helped define Mazda as a performance brand long before the RX-7 ever hit the streets. I'm talking about the Mazda RX-3, Japan's little rotary-powered warrior with a big attitude and an even bigger impact. The RX-3 is one of those cars that if you know, you know. And if you don't, well, buckle up, because you're about to discover why this small coupe became such a cult icon in the tuning world. On the drag strip and in motorsports history. Mazda introduced the RX-3 in 1971. Known in Japan as the Mazda Savannah, it was part of Mazda's aggressive push to get the world interested in rotary engines. At the time, the company was ealing on the Wankel Rotary, and the RX-3 was a critical piece of that strategy. It slotted into the lineup just below the larger RX-2, offering a smaller, sportier, and more affordable entry into rotary motoring. Under the hood, the RX-3 came equipped with a 1.0A rotary engine, a twin-rotor, 982cc marvel that defied convention. With only around 100 horsepower, you might think that's not much. But remember, the RX-3 was light. We're talking around 2,100 pounds in base trim. Combine that power-to-weight ratio with the rotary's ability to rev to the moon, and you had a car that was nimble, quick, and incredibly fun to drive. Later versions would receive the larger one to a rotary engine, bumping up both displacement and power. Some international markets even saw piston engine versions like the 1.5L and 1.6L. Inline force, but let's be honest, the rotary ones are what made the RX-3 special. From a design perspective, the RX-3 was a snapshot of 1970s edges, chrome trim, round headlights, and a profile that looked like it was moving even when parked. It came in coupe, sedan, and wagon variants, but it's the coupe that truly became the poster child of the model. Its proportions were perfect for a compact sports car, and its small size made it ideal for both tight city streets and winding mountain passes. One of the most important things to understand about the RX-3 is how it helped define Mazda's identity. In the early 70s, Mazda campaigned the RX-3 in racing events all over the world. In Japan, it faced off against heavyweights like the Nissan Skyline GTR in touring car battles. And despite being down on displacement and often on power, the RX-3 gave the GTR a serious run for its money, thanks in large part to its low weight, quick handling, and higher revving rotary engine. In fact, the RX-3 is famous for ending the Skyline GTR's 50RS50 race winning streak in Japanese touring car racing. That win was a major moment not just for Mazda, but for the rotary engine itself. It was proof that this unusual power plant could go toe-to-toe with traditional performance engines and Windot. In the United States, the RX-3 became something of a hidden gem. Mazda was still relatively new to the market, and while the rotary engine generated curiosity, it also generated skepticism. But those who took a chance on the RX-3 often fell in love. It offered something truly different, something that felt more like a European sports car, in terms of agility and rev happiness, but with Japanese reliability and build quality. That said, the early rotary engines weren't without their issues. Apex seal, where oil consumption and high fuel usage were all concerns. But for enthusiasts, those were small prices to pay for the unique driving experience the RX-3 delivered. There's just nothing like the sound of a rotary engine at full song. It's a screaming, buzzing, almost metallic wail that builds intensity as the revs climb. It sounds like it's angry, excited, and alive all at once. As time went on, the RX-3 became a favorite in the tuning and drag racing scenes, especially in countries like Australia, New Zealand, and Puerto Rico. In those places, you'll find RX-3 South that are heavily modified, some pushing well over 1,000 horsepower thanks to turbocharged 1.3B and 2.0B rotary swaps. The lightweight chassis makes it an ideal platform for straight-line speed, and the rotary's potential for high-power output makes it a favorite among serious builders. In Australia, in particular, the RX-3 holds almost mythical status. It's not just a car, it's part of the culture. You'll see them at car shows, burnout competitions, drag races, and even in nostalgic street builds. There's a whole generation of enthusiasts who grew up watching RX-3 South dominate the strip and hearing that signature rotary brap echo through the suburbs. If you know, you know. From a collector's standpoint, RX-3 values have skyrocketed in recent years. For a long time, they were affordable classics, easy to pick up, fun to drive, and simple to modify. But as the JDM scene has grown, and as clean examples have become rarer, prices have climbed dramatically. Today, a well-restored RX-3, especially a rotary-powered coupe, can fetch tens of thousands of dollars, with pristine or highly modified examples going even higher. By the sudden value surge, it's partly nostalgia. People who grew up around RX-3 South are now old enough to afford them, and they want that piece of their youth back. But it's also because people are starting to appreciate how unique the RX-3 really is. It's not just another old Japanese car, it's a symbol of Mazda's boldness, their willingness to try something different, and their success in proving that different can be better. Let's not forget, the RX-3 also laid the groundwork for what would become Mazda's most famous rotary car, the RX-7. Without the RX-3, there might never have been an FBFC, or FDR X7. It was the RX-3 that proved the rotary could perform, could sell, and could win. It was the RX-3 that showed Mazda how to build a lightweight, driver-focused sports car with real character. There's a certain purity to cars from that era, and the RX-3 is a perfect example. No screens, no driver aids, no turbochargers unless you add one yourself. Just a featherweight chassis, a screaming rotary engine, rear-wheel drive, and a manual gearbox. It's the kind of car that makes you feel connected to the road of vibration, every input, every slide, and the rotary engine. It's a bit of a wild card. It doesn't behave like a piston engine. It doesn't sound like one. It doesn't rev like one. But that's the magic. The RX-3 isn't about numbers on a spec sheet, it's about feel. It's about emotion. It's about driving something that challenges convention and rewards those who embrace the unconventional dot. So whether you're a die-hard Mazda fan, a rotary enthusiast, or just someone who appreciates the weird, wonderful corners of automotive history, the RX-3 deserves your attention. It may not have the same mainstream fame as some other JDM classics, but those who know it love it deeply and honestly. That's kind of perfect. The RX-3 has always been a bit of an underdog, a car that didn't get handed respect, but earned it on the streets and on the track. A car that didn't follow trends but helped create them. A car that was louder, lighter, and livelier than anything else in its class. Even today, more than 50 years after it first hit the road, the RX-3 still manages to feel special. It still turns heads, it still sparks conversations, and it still puts a smile on your face when you hear that iconic rotary brap echoing through the air. So, if you ever get the chance to drive one, do it. If you ever see one at a meet, take the time to really look at it. Talk to the owner, ask them what they love about it. Chances are, you'll hear the same thing over and over. It's like nothing else. That's the legacy of the RX-3. It wasn't built to be normal, it was built to be different. And in a world where everything starts to look the same, that kind of difference is worth celebrating. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of Mazda's greatest hits, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We've got plenty more classic JDM content coming your way. Until next time, keep it revving and keep it rotary. Let me know if you'd like to tailor this script more to your channel's tone. Include a call to action at the start, or add historical footage cues or B-roll ideas.